Dear students, we are started to see terrace farming. Okay, terrace farming, you can see that one in page number 12 of your textbook. Please take page number 12. It is given the picture of terrace farming. So what is terrace farming? Terraces are developed on the steep slope so that flat surface are available to grow crops, which helps in reducing surface runoff and soil erosion. So in hilly area or slope area, we are making in between small boundaries, and we are making that area into flat area. So one flat, second flat, third flat, like that, how we are making the multi-story building, like that it will come. So by that, what we can avoid? We can avoid runoff, surface runoff or soil erosion. The next one, intercropping. Intercropping means different crops are grown in alternate, means not only one crop, two or three crops we are planting in same area. Then alternate rows and are sown at different times to protect the soil from rain wash, especially where we are getting maximum rain, like that area what we are making intercropping. Okay, first line that it is not there in textbook, so you can understand that one if I will show with the help of two colors what we are going to use. Okay, this is example of sugar cane we are planting here, like this one line it will go. Then in between they are planting some what we can say cabbage, like that, something cabbage or cauliflower, like that things they are planting. And again next line again with what sugar cane. So it is planting by month of April or March, April, or that time, or June, like that, when we are getting rainwater or maximum water availability. According to that we will plant. Okay, suppose it is planted by January. Okay, new plant it is by January. Then in the winter season itself we can plant this cabbage and cauliflower also. So they will plant when they will plant, it may be end of January or February they will plant it. So in under the shade of this sugar cane it will grow, and it will harvest by 45 days or for 30 days, 35 days, like that. And it will, the sugar cane it is taking near about 1 year to grow and getting the crop. So like that we are making the intercropping, 2 or 3 crops, that is in alternative rows. We are in, even we can see that one soybean plus cotton, then sugar cane plus vegetables like lady's finger or brinjal, like that different crops we can see in different area. Then next comes the counter ploughing parallel to the counter of the hill slopes to form a natural barriers for water to flow down the slope. So that is picture is there in the textbook, counter ploughing. If the slope is from downside, for example this is the hill area and slope is like down, so what we will do, we are making the ploughing of like this, so that flow of the water will stop here for little bit. Again next when it is filling, that time it will go down. Then from there slowly that the flow of the water will be getting little bit stop there or barrier, so that we can reduce the soil erosion. Next comes the shelter belt. In the coastal area, coastal and dry region, what we are making a row of trees, or we are planting many trees to check the wind. We want to control the wind movement for to protect our soil, because with soil also water as well as wind, it is increasing the soil erosion. So we are making the shelter belt or the row of the trees we are planting to check the wind movement to protect our soil cover. So we studied many 6 methods. One is mulching, second one is counter barriers, third one is rock dams, next one is terrace farming, then intercropping and counter ploughing, as well as shelter belters we studied to how to conserve the soil. Next topic, it is water, important as well as renewable resource, and 3/4 of the earth covered surface is covered with water, and we are that's why earth is called as water planet or blue planet. Then next one, it is ocean cover 2/3 of the earth surface, whose water is saline and not fit for human consumption. We are having water 70%, in that we are having the drinking water that is only 2.7% that we can use for drinking purpose, or that much only fresh water we are having. 70% occurs in that 2.7, in that 70% it is what we can say, it is there in with glaciers or ice in Greenland and other areas where it is not that much easily we can access in that area. The next 1% of fresh water is available and fit to human use, which is found as groundwater, as surface water in rivers and lakes, as well as water vapor in atmosphere. This 1%, if you are taking 100 drops of water, in that one drop only is good for human consumption. In that we can see again it is divided, that one drop again we can divide into what under groundwater, surface water. That surface water where we are seeing, we can see in rivers and lakes, even water vapor in the atmosphere. The next point, it is fresh water is therefore the most precious substance of on earth, as water can either be added nor subtracted from earth. So the fresh water, it is very precious, very valuable. As the same time water, the amount of the water we can't add or we can subtract from earth. An abundance of water only seems to vary because it is in constant motion, cycling through ocean, air, land and back again. So we studied about a water cycle. This is the water body here on earth, and it is filled with water, then it is evaporating with the help of sunlight, and it is forming like a cloud, and again it is precipitating or it forming rains. That water cycle already we studied in smaller classes. With the help of water cycle we are getting the water distribution of water. It varies, but that water cycle is continuous for every day. Use of water by humans, not only for drinking, we are using water for different purpose: agriculture purpose, industries, generating electricity, then like the different uses what we are using for commercial or means general use. At the same time we know that for what purpose we are using, for washing, cleaning, like that things we already know. So the use of water, we can say human use like drinking, cleaning, like that things are there. With that other three uses: agriculture, industries and generating electricity. Then factors responsible for storage of shortage in supply of fresh water. Why we are facing, or what all things it is determining the water availability? Increasing population, that is one of the factor. Then raising the demand for food and cash crops, not only food crops, commercial crops like rubber, tea, like that things also. So that's why in agriculture area also we need much water. Then increasing urbanization, raising standard of living, these are the major four reason where we are facing because of determining or facing the problem of shortage of supply of water. What are the reasons? Once again, if you are getting question, you can very easily write the point wise: increasing population, raising the demand for food and cash crops, increasing urbanization, raising standard of living. Then these lead to either drying up of water source or water pollution. So because of these reasons, what we are facing? We are facing the problem of water drying up or water pollution. The next one, problems of water availability. Areas facing shortage in fresh water supply: most of Africa, West Asia, South Asia, parts of USA, Northwest Mexico, parts of South America, entire Australia. In which area we are facing the water shortage? Which continent is not there? Like that you want to ask, yes or no? Africa, Asia, that also Asia again divided into West Asia, South Asia, like that. Then USA, that is in American continent, again Mexico, parts of America and entire Australia. Means almost all the continents we are facing the shortage of water. Then water shortage may be a result of variation in seasonal or annual precipitation or scarcity in cause by over exploitation and contamination of water source. What are the reasons for water shortage? First one, annual rainfall, it is very less in, especially in some years and some areas like that. Then second one, over exploitation of water, and because of that one, what is happening, the contamination or pollution of the water. Then how we can conserve water? Major contaminants, discharge of the untreated or partially treated sewage, agriculture chemicals, industrial effluent in the water bodies. How the water is getting contaminated? By industrial areas, they are not treating the water properly. That untreated or partially treated water, it is coming to water bodies, to rivers from factory area. That is the one reason. Then in agriculture area, we are using chemicals and industrial chemical pesticides, fertilizer, etc. That is one reason. Then in industrial effluent, what that is not directly coming to sea or water body, they are putting their waste or keeping the waste nearby factories, and knowingly or unknowingly it is dissolving to water or reaching to water through land. So all these are the reasons for contamination of water. So how we can overcome this one, or how we can control the water pollution, that we will think in next video.